So hi, hello, very good evening. Once again, welcome back to the session. This is going to be the continuation for the previous session, Mensuration Lesson 2, which we have seen that. And have some nice, interesting questions here. We'll try to do in this session. Before getting into that, let me quickly introduce about myself. My name is Kabilan. If you're watching me first time, I'm a mechanical engineer with 3 years of teaching experience in the field of management exams. And I've also converted various Indian Institute of Managements. And you can personally follow me on the Unacademy Learning app. This is my ID. You can also reach out to me in my Telegram channel where you can be getting all my personalized schedules for the weekdays, right? And talking about the weekly scholarship test, you can take it live to compete with the best actually, and it is the India's largest scholarship test for CAT exams. So it is the super fast and fun where you can literally check yourself where you stand in the All India Live leaderboard, and you can identify and improve your weak areas through the detailed video solution. Okay. So the next combat challenge, it goes live on the 11th of April, the next coming Sunday, sharply at 12 p.m. So you can register now for free using my unlock code KABI10. And also here we have the iconic badge for CAT 2021. So what makes it different from the normal plus batch is that you'll be put up with a personal mentor who will be a graduate from a top B school, and you'll be given a proper test analysis and reports. You'll be concentrating on other management entrance test preparations as well. That is, you'll not only be concentrating on CAT 2021 but also for MAT, SATs, TISNET, TISMAT, GRE, GMAT, and various other top management exams. Okay. So here we have this beautiful feature called Ask a Doubt, where you can simply use it in your Unacademy Learning app. Take a picture of a question which really you have towards your queries, drop it down to the specific question, and don't forget to mention under which subject it belongs. Okay. For example, if you have doubt a question from mensuration, kindly don't forget to mention it falls under quantitative aptitude. Okay. And after doing so, send it to us, sit tight, you'll receive the solution soon, right? And only last 8 days left before the price hike gonna happen, so you can quickly enroll now both in the plus and iconic batches. You could see the before and after tariffs here very clearly. So the new price, it is going to be effectively implemented from 14th of April. Okay, so better don't get delayed. And here we have the students who aced CAT 2020 with flying colors. And if you aspire to be one, you can quickly enroll in our batches, right? So in continuation to that, previous questions that we did, we'll try to do the rest of the questions as well. So the last question that we did, yeah. So we'll try to continue with the next question. Here if you see, a person walks along edge of a square park of a side 20 meters, covering two sides, then start walking on diagonal till he covers 1/4 distance of whole diagonal, and then starts walking on a path of smaller square field. Okay. Then he covers two sides and again starts walking on a diagonal of bigger square park. Then find the distance covered by him. You need to find the distance covered by him, and they've clearly said you can take the value of root 2 as 1.4. Technically, we'll be writing this is 1.414. Here they have said you can take the value of root 2 as 1. Okay. Come on, guys, let's try to do this. Let's try to understand the question. A person walks along edge of a square park, okay, side 20 meters, covering two sides. So E has covered this thing and this thing. Okay, so E has walked 40 meters covering two sides, then starts walking on diagonal. So he starts walking on diagonal till he covers 1/4 distance of old diagonal. Okay, cool. So listen very carefully, guys. Here they have said, if at all you have a square path, this is 20 and this is 20, and if at all if you want to find what is this distance, this is going to be nothing but what, let's say if I take this as A, B and C, AC square is equal to 20 square 400 plus 400. 20 square plus 20 square will give you 400. Simply I did Pythagoras theorem here. Okay, so I'll be getting 800 AC square is, and AC will be what then ultimately square root of 800. How can you write this actually? You can write this as 100 into 8. So this becomes 10 root 8. Root 8 can also be written as 10, 4 into 2. So root 4 is actually nothing but 2. So 20 root 2, right? And they've clearly said you can take the value of root 2 as 1.4. If that is the case, then I can say AC is equal to 20 into 1.4. If you do that, you'll be getting it exactly 28 meters. Is that right? So you have got the length of the diagonal to be 28. This is 28 meters, right? You have got the value length of AC to be 28. And they said that, he starts walking on a diagonal till he covers 1/4 distance of whole diagonal. So what is 1/4 of 28? If you do this, is going to be exactly 7, right? So this distance that he covered here is 7 meters till here, right? And then starts walking on a path of smaller square field. Okay, so here starts a path of smaller square field, right? Then he covers two sides. Okay, he has covered 1 and 2, so he covered two sides and again starts walking on a diagonal of bigger square path. Okay, cool. So you are asked to find what is the distance covered by him. That's your question. So listen very carefully, guys. Let's try to do this. I know the fact that you have a smaller square field here. So if that is the case, so technically if this is 7, this will also be 7. This will also be 7. So if this is 7 and if this is 7, this will be what then ultimately? This length. This length will be, total length is 28. So 7 plus 7 plus 14. So this has to be 14, right? So then you'll be getting this as 28. So, till now he has covered 20 plus 20 plus 7 plus 7. I just want to find what this is going to be, right? If I take this, definitely these two sides will be equal. So if I take this as, 2a square is equal to 196 is what I'll be getting. So a square is equal to 98, right? If I'm not wrong, a square is 98. How I got this 2a square is equal to 196? Simply apply the concept of Pythagoras theorem. If I take this as a and if I take this as a square plus a square, so 2a square is equal to 196 and a square is equal to 98 you'll be getting. And if you try to apply square root, a is equal to square root of 98. Fine. So if you try to break this of 98, you try to break this off, Get the square root. What exactly? How can you write this? 98 if I go with what table exactly? So let me just start with 2 table. If I do that, I'll be getting 49, right? So I can write this as what? I can write this as root of 49 into 2. So this is going to be 7 root 2 ultimately. A is equal to 7 root 2. If that is the case, then the value of A will be 7 into 1.4. If I do so, I'll be getting exactly I'll be getting 9.8. So this is 9.8 and this is 9.8. Okay. So 9.8 into 2, if you do, you'll be getting exactly 19.6, right? So guys, if you try to do this, then definitely you'll be getting the answer for it. Come on, go for it. Try to solve this. So you'll be getting 20. So if you try to do this, you'll be getting exactly to be 74 meters. This is what the distance covered by the person. Okay, cool. Next question, we'll go for it. Come on, try to do this. Next question for you. That's your question. Okay. Come on, guys, try to do this. So if you see that, we know that the perimeter of a square, if you see here, the perimeter of a square, that is actually is equal to 4a, right? Perimeter of a square is 4a, and where a is the side of the square, right? Yes, they're asking you the area of the greatest circle which can be inscribed in a square whose perimeter is 360 centimeters. If that is the case, listen very carefully. The perimeter of a square is given, that is 360. So can I say 4a is equal to 360 means then the value of a will be what there exactly? 90 centimeter. So it is super clear that I have a square whose side is 90. So they are asking you the area of the greatest circle. If I want to inscribe a greatest circle, I kindly apologize my poor drawing skill. Yeah? So if I want to, inscribe a greatest possible circle inside the square, this should have a diameter of 90 and a radius of 45, if I'm not wrong, right? So I've got the radius. So undoubtedly, then what's going to be the area of it? The area of the greatest circle. The area of the greatest circle, it is pi r square, where pi is 22 by 7 and r is nothing but 45. 45 the whole square. So the answer is undoubtedly option 1. 22 by 7 into 45 square, the whole square it is, okay? So typing mistake, 45 or 2 centimeter square. So the answer it is option A. Okay, very easy question, guys. Let's go for the next question. Come on, try to do this. The difference between the perimeter and side of a square is 12 centimeters. The area of the square is what? That's your question. Okay, let's go for it. So they have said the distance between the perimeter and the side of a square. So the perimeter is 4a and the side of a square minus a is equal to 12. From this I can say 3a is equal to 12 and a is equal to 4, right? I've got the value of a. You're asked to find what is the area of the square. Very simple question. Area of the square is what? A square. So 4 into 4 will give you exactly 16 centimeters square. Answer it is option 2. 16 centimeters square is the area of the square, right? Next question for you. Come on. Go for it, guys. Try to do this. The length of a rectangular field is increased by 30%. And the breadth is decreased by 30%. Okay. So you have a rectangular field, guys. Okay. Let's say I have a rectangular field. This is actually the initial length. Let me take it as L1 and let me take this as B1, where L1 is my initial length of it and B1 is the initial breadth of it. Okay, now what I do, the length of the rectangular field, it is increased by 30%. Now L2 is what actually 30% it is increasing. So already with 100% you are additionally boosting up 30% increase. So if that is the case, then it has to be 1.3 of L1, the initial length. And like in the same way, if you go for B2, B2 is decreased by 30%. From 100%, you are decreasing 30%. So then it has to be 0.7 B1. That's it. So you need to find what is the percent increase or decrease in its area. Okay. If that is the case, I know the fact that area A1 initially it is A1 is actually L1 into B1, and A2 is actually, I know that L2 into B2, but here L2 is nothing but 1.3 L1 and B2 is nothing but 0.7 B1. If at all, if you try to multiply this, what exactly you'll be getting? You'll be getting 0.91 L1 B1. L1 B1 is nothing but what actually? A2 is actually, instead of L1 B1, it is 0.91. Can I write it as A1? So just by seeing at this, I can definitely say that from 100%, how much is being decreased? 109 is being decreased. So I can definitely say that the percent decrease in its area is 9%. Okay, is that clear, guys? Is that clear, everyone? Let's go for the next question. Come on, let's try to do that. The diagonal of a rectangular field is 50 meters and one of the sides is 40 meters. Okay. So listen, you again have a rectangular field where its diagonal, this is 50 meters, okay, diagonal of its rectangular field, and one of the sides, it is 40. If the cost of cutting the grass of the field is rupees 27 per square meter, then the total cost of cutting all grass field of the rectangular field is what? That's a question. So let's try to do this. You have been given one of its side to be 40, right? If that is the case, let's say if this is 40, let me take if this is as 40, I can say that 50 square is equal to 40 square plus a square. If I take this as a, the breadth to be, yeah. So such that what I'll be getting here exactly, 50 square is 2500 minus 1600 is equal to a square. So I'll be getting here exactly 900 is equal to a square such that a is equal to 30. Fine, so you've got this to be 30, you've got this to be 40. So the area of the rectangular field, if you see, area of the rectangular field, it is L into B. Length is 40 and breadth is 30. So this is going to be 1200 meters square. I know the fact that for 1 square meter, rupees 27 is being charged. For a total of 1200 square meter, how much rupees I will be charging here? So you just need to multiply this. If you try to multiply this, just do this and tell me what exactly will be the answer for this thing. Come on. Well, 100 into 27, if you do, you'll be getting exactly 32,400. So the answer for this question is option 2. 32,400 is actually the total cost of cutting all the grass of the rectangular field. Okay, simple guys, nothing to complicate here. We'll quickly go for the next question. Come on, try to do this. A rectangle has 20 centimeter as its length and 320 centimeter square as its area. Okay. So from this, I can find the breadth of the rectangle to be what? Length into breadth. The area of the rectangle is 320 centimeter square. And the length they have given you, it is 20. Okay, if the length is 20, then this has to be 320 by 20. This is going to give you 16 centimeter to be the breadth. Length is 20. Cool. And its area is increased to 1 by 4 times its original area by increasing only its length. What is its new perimeter? That's the question. So listen very carefully. They are increasing the area to 1 by 4 times. So 1 by 4 times means what exactly? How much time they are increasing? 4 into 1, 4 plus 1, 5 by 4 times they are increasing it. So the initial area is 320 and now the area it's going to be, it goes 80. It gives you 500, 400, the new area of a rectangle. The new area of the rectangle is 400 centimeters square. So they're asking you what is its new perimeter, and they've clearly said this is made only by increasing only its length. So the breadth, it remains ultimately the same, right? So the breadth is what? 16. So then length will be what then? 400 by 16 you do. If you try to do that 4 times, goes 100, this goes 25, right? So length has been increased by 5. Initially it was 20 centimeter and now it is 25 centimeters. Now you are asked to find what is its new perimeter. New perimeter, what is the formula? The perimeter of a rectangle will be 2 into L plus B. Kindly substitute the new length of its rectangle. So 2 into length is 25 and breadth it is 16. So if you try to do that 2 times of, it's gonna give you 41. So this will be 82 centimeter. Answer it is absolutely option 1. The new, the perimeter of a newly transformed, rectangle only by increasing its length, it is 82 centimeters. Okay, that's it, guys. Is that clear? We'll go for the next one. Come on. The area of the largest circle in centimeter square that can be drawn inside a square of side 14 centimeter is what? Okay, just like the same thing. You have a square. And whose side is 14 centimeter. They're asking you what is the area of the largest circle that can be inscribed. Let's say if this is the circle which can be inscribed in a square, then definitely this diameter of the circle should be 14 such that its radius should be 7, right? If that is the case, they're asking you the area of the largest circle. So the area of the circle, it's going to be pi r square. Pi r is nothing but 7. So 7 square it is 49. So the answer is 49 pi. Answer, it is option 2. 49 pi is exactly the area of the largest circle that can be drawn or inscribed in a square whose side is 14 centimeter. Okay, is that clear, guys? We'll go for the next question. Come on. The diameter of a circle is equal to the side of a square. Okay, listen carefully. The diameter of a circle, I know the fact that radius is actually diameter by 2. So can I write the diameter to be 2 times of the radius of the circle? That is 2 times the radius of the circle, that is nothing but the diameter of the circle, is equal to side of a square. Okay. What is the area of the square? You need to find the value of A. If the area of the circle is 64 pi centimeter square. So pi r square is equal to 64 pi. Pi goes out and r will be exactly 8 centimeter. You've got the value of r. So if you try to substitute it here, A will be twice of 8. It's going to be 16 centimeter, and they are asking you what is the area of the square, right? So the area of the square will be a square, that is 16 the whole square. You will be getting exactly 256 centimeter square. Answer for this question is option 4. The area of the square is 256 centimeter square. Is that clear, guys? Is that clear? Kindly give me a thumbs up if you're clear with this. Come on. Let's go for the next question. Come on, you just try to do this. So listen carefully. A chord AB of a circle of radius 12 centimeter. So a chord is nothing but, let's say if you have a circle here, a chord is nothing but a line which connects two edges or two points of the circle to make a straight line. This is actually a chord. Let me take this as AB, a chord AB of a circle of radius 12 centimeter. So this radius, it is 12 centimeter, makes an angle of 30 degree at the center of the circle. Okay, so listen. So at the center of the circle, let me take this point as O. It makes an angle 30 degree. Find the difference between the areas of the major and minor segments of the circle. That's your question. Okay. So listen very carefully, guys. You are asked to find the difference between the areas of major and minor segments of the circle. Okay. So first, I know the fact that the angle AOB is equal to 30 degree and the area of the sector OAB is nothing but theta by 360 into pi r square, where r is the radius of the circle. So from this, if I try to substitute, theta is actually 30, so 30 by 360 theta by pi here is actually nothing but 360 degrees. So theta by 360 into pi here is, and r it is 12 square. So this goes exactly 12. So I'll be getting here what actually area of the sector of OAB, it's going to be 12 pi. So 12 by 112 goes out, 12 pi at what I'll be getting. If you use the value of pi to be 3.14, you'll be left with 37.68. Yeah, 37.68 centimeter square, area of the sector OAB, right? Like in the same way, area of OAB, if you see, area of the triangle OAB, yeah, it is nothing but half the radius square, right? Half the radius of the circle into sine theta. That is, if you try to apply the sine rule, sine 30 degree. So if you try to do this, you've got the value of r to be 12 square, so 144. So 144 and sine 30 is 1 by 12. So we'll be getting here exactly 36 centimeters square, right? And the area of the minor segment, is actually area of the sector of OAB, that is 37.68 minus area of the triangle OAB, 36. So if you try to do that, you'll be getting 1.68 centimeter. And a major sector, if you see, area of the circle is nothing but pi r square. So that's going to give you 144 into 3.14. This will give you 452.16, right? And area of the major segment, if you see, how to find the major segment here? Let me write it here. Major segment, it is nothing but from the area of the circle, that is from 452.16. If you try to subtract area of the minor segment, 1.68. See guys, listen very carefully. How to find the minor segment? Minor segment is nothing but area of the sector OAB, right? Sector OAB, if you try to find, that is actually nothing but theta by 360 into pi r square. Pi, r is 12. So if you try to do that, you'll be getting 37.8. And area of the triangle OAB, how to find that? It is half the radius r square into sine. Okay, sine 30. If you try to do that, you'll be getting the area 36 centimeters square, and minor segment is nothing but area of the sector OAB minus area of the triangle OAB, and area of major sector, if you see, it is area of the circle minus area of the minor sector. If you try to do that, you'll be getting 450.48, and they're asking you what is the difference. If you really want to find what is the difference, that is 450.48 minus 1.68. If you do that, you'll be getting exactly 448.8 centimeters square. So the difference is option 2. 448.8 centimeters square is actually the difference between the major and minor segments of the circle. Okay. Yes, Swami Saran, if you can type it in English, I can able to clearly acknowledge. I couldn't understand what you're trying to convey. Next question, come on. The perimeter of a circle and an equilateral triangle are equal, right? Perimeter of a circle, it is what actually? Perimeter of a circle is otherwise called as circumference of the circle. So 2 pi r is equal to an equilateral triangle, right? Perimeter of an equilateral triangle. In an equilateral triangle, all the three sides will be equal. So ultimately, 3a. Let's say if this is an equilateral triangle and if its side is a, you just need to add all the three sides, 3a, right? Here r is the radius of the circle. Okay, if the area of the circle is 121 pi, that is what actually area of the circle is what? Pi r square is equal to 121 pi. Pi goes out and r is equal to 11. We've got the value of r is equal to 11, and the area of the equilateral triangle they're asking you to find. So listen very carefully. First, let's try to find what's the value of a. So 2 into 22 by 7 into 11 into divided by 3 is equal to a. Fine. So yes, Swami Saran. I take classes regularly. The timing, every day I'll be taking 5 p.m. Okay. So I'll be covering the classes for IPMAT and CAT as well. Okay. You can attend my classes regularly. I'll be covering all the topics right from quantitative aptitude, LR and DI as well. Okay. Logical reasoning and data interpretation parts. So we'll be completely covering all the topics. Okay. And I take classes daily. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So guys, listen carefully. So what we did, we have got the value of R is equal to 11. And I know the fact that A is equal to 2 pi R by 3, right? So 2 pi R by 3, where 2 R is nothing but 11 pi by 3. So I'll be getting exactly 22 by 3 pi, the value of A to B, right? And if at all, if I want to find what is the area of an equilateral triangle, area of an equilateral triangle, it is nothing but root 3 A square by 4. So if you try to substitute it here, you'll be getting the answer to be 229.8. So you can approximately round it off to 230 centimeters square. Okay, that's it. So the answer for this question is option 2. 230 centimeters square is approximately the area of the equilateral triangle. Okay, I just want to give you a brief idea how this area of the equilateral triangle came. If you take a equilateral triangle, guys, listen very carefully. Let's say if this is a equilateral triangle, all the three sides will be equal ultimately, right? And I know the formula that area of the triangle is half BH. Fine. So I know the value of base, that is A. H will be what then? If at all, if I want to find what is the value of H, let me take this as A, B, C, and this point to be D. Here, if I try to find what is the value of AD, AD square is nothing but AC square minus DC square. That's that. AC square is A square and DC is nothing but half of A. So A square by 4. This is gonna give you 3A square by 4. The value of the value of AD square to be. So what will be AD then? AD is equal to A root 3 by 2. So if I try to substitute it here, then the area of equilateral triangle will be half base is A and height is A root 3 by 2. So it's going to be A square root 3 by 4. That's how we got the area of the equilateral triangle. Okay, a very simple thing. Yes, Swami Saran. What about the chapters that you have missed? Okay, no problem. See, this is the brand new start for the fresh month, April. So I'll be covering all the topics right from the basics. Okay, so I just started with mensuration. I'll be covering all the topics, which includes percentage, profit and loss, simple and compound interest, every other important arithmetic and application based topics. We'll be covering it. Okay, you need not worry about that. Fine. Every topic will be covered in a cyclic way. Clear? So better not extend further. Let me try to wind up the session till now. And if you really like the session, kindly don't forget to get a subscription and use my discount code KBI10 to get a 10% off. And signing off with this. See you all in the next session.